Hey, this is Cynthia speaking. I'm back again. I'm back again. I'm joking, Betuna. Please don't forget before I say anything. I always forget. I don't have an intro. An intro. What did I just say? An intro. An intro. I don't even have an intro. Wow, this is crazy. I don't have an intro. I don't have like a pickup line or anything. So just bear with me. Okay, this is Cynthia. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, leave anything you want to leave. Even if you want to leave a present, I can give you my address. I'm joking, I'm not going to give you my address. But then I'm just joking. Here we are here because of the title. You saw in the title. It's a story time based on how I got married. Not married, but then like more like engaged. Because I almost did get married, low key. So this is how the story. For anybody who does not believe me, I even have a voice note. I'm gonna let me just check here. When this let me just check. I'm checking here on my phone. I'm checking here. When did I? But it was last year, so it was 2018. 2018 though, so I'm just checking the date. So before I continue to talk, I'm just gonna give you a quick background story of everything so you can understand. Okay, so this happened. Wow, it happened at 2018 January 15. Wow, what? Last year, and it was the time was 18:26 55 seconds. So I'm gonna play the voice note, don't worry. So this is how the story went. I'm gonna give this guy a name of Corey. So Corey is a guy that I met. Not that I met. I've known Corey like a really long ass time. You know, like for like the longest time ever. Like, okay, this is how we knew each other. I'm gonna just try and do like a brief kind of like summary. Okay, Corey and I used to take the bus together to school if I'm at my grandmother's house. Because I stayed anywhere I wanted to. I was that kid, you know, that spoiled kid. I would stay in my grandmother's house, I would stay in my uncle's house or my aunt's house. Like, that's how I did not care. I would just stay anywhere I felt like staying. So Corey stayed in the Bronx, in the valley, not the valley, almost at the valley, in the hood, in the Bronx. But it's not like the hood. It's more like township, suburbs kind of vibe. We used to stay there, and then that's my grandmother's house is actually quite close to his house. It's in the same area, so that's how I knew him. You know, if we would go to school, maybe I was at my grandmother's house, we would take the same bus together to school, because he was our schools were in the same area at the time. Because it was in high school, I was in primary. Crazy enough. I'm sure you're kind of wondering right now. It's like Corey's like 50. No, Corey's not 50. Corey is actually this year, because last year was 22. This is 23. So I met him like that. That's how we knew each other, you know. There was nothing. I was just a kid, because I think where he made a move on me, I think I was like in 5th grade. I'm not sure. I think it was in 5th grade, if not 4th grade. That was the time he made a move on me. So I, you know, at that time I was just like, really, what is he even doing? I don't know what the heck is going on. Not that I did not know, I knew, but then I was just like, oh, what are my friends gonna say? Someone in high school, and you know, like, I'm in primary. Oh, you know, I'm in primary, he's in high school. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry about that. I just had a phone call, so I had to pick up a phone call. So yeah, you know, and then I was a bit skeptical about the whole idea. And then at that time, I think when I was in 4th grade, I think it was 2011. Yeah, it was 2011. So at that time, everyone, you know, you remember back then, 2011, it was like Facebook Mixit. Yeah, it was those days. So I gave him my Mixit account. I gave him my Facebook name. And then it was like, oh, okay, he's gonna search and then DM me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then, you know, we kind of vibed and we spoke and we talked and we whatever, you know. So we had kind of had a great relationship over the phone, you know. But for him he wanted something more, but then at that time I was not in a good space where I was like, you know, just being a kid, you just want to play, you just want to do everything everybody else, every kid was doing at the time. So that was happening. So and then fast forward, when, because now it's 2019, 2018, 2017, fast forward 2015, 14, yeah, 15 when it started. And then we kind of just lost contact at that time when I was in primary 4th or 5th grade. We kind of lost contact. So fast forward to 2015, I was in 8th grade. Yeah, 9th, if not 8th grade. So at that time I was in high school. So I had him as a Facebook friend. So you know, he kind of saw my pictures, whatever I posted on my Facebook. Because Facebook has always been relevant. We can say whatever. Instagram is here now. We can say whatever. But then Facebook is the big dog. It's the main dog. You know, it's like Facebook. So and then I feel like I need to wear shades for this. No, I shouldn't. I'm just being dramatic. But then so yeah. That's how oh, and then he DM'd me, and then you know I kind of responded to his DM, and then he was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at home. It's like, where? In the flats or in your grandmother's house? Where are you? I'm like, I was in my grandmother's house, luckily. I'm like, at my grandmother's house. And then he was like, okay, can I please see you? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, okay, I'm gonna call you when I'm like near, just give me your number. I'm like, okay. I gave him my number, and then he called, and then he's like, okay, I'm by this tech shop here, you know, like, and then he just gave me the directions of the tech shop like nearby. I'm like, oh yeah, I see the tech shop, I'm coming. When I got there, I'm like, I can't see him, you know. I did not know at that time, because at that time it was actually 20, I think it was 19. I did not know he had a car. So you know, I'm just like walking, I couldn't see him, and I'm just like, I texted him on WhatsApp. I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm in a car. I'm like, that's your car? He's like, yeah. And then so I went inside the car. We kind of spoke, you know, we got things on, you know. We kind of got things on, you know. It was like fun and everything, you know. And he was such a gentleman, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and then what happened afterwards? Oh yeah, we just, because I had to move, because my mother bought a house. My mother bought a house in Waterloo, so we had to move from that area to Waterloo now. So we couldn't be together because it was more like an hour drive from where he was to where I was. You know, I just didn't want that relationship, because I was like, I'm young, why am I doing that to myself? So it just kind of just stopped. I don't know, it just kind of stopped, you know. So and then fast forward 2017, 2 years later. 2017, it was September. Yeah, September, October, September, around there. So yeah, he texts me, it's like, respond to your inbox. He didn't text me, why am I lying? He wrote on my wall, respond to your inbox. I'm like, okay. I went to my inbox, he texted me his number, and I was like, okay. Yeah, because at that time I had a new phone, so you know, I kind of lost his number. And it's like, how are you? Where are you? Where have you been? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. You know, and at that time I was back now in the CBD, so I'm in town. It's like, okay, can I see you? I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know. And then when he saw me, because the first time around, we didn't really fight or anything, we just lost touch of each other. So yeah, and then he saw me, and you know, yeah, you know, we had a relationship afterwards. It was actually quite nice, I'm not gonna lie, and just badmouth him, because now we're not longer together. But then it was like nice and stuff. So this is how I actually did get engaged. This is part 1. This is how I got engaged. He was chilling with his friends somewhere, I don't know, just drinking, and then he decided on his own that he's gonna come see me. He didn't tell me anything. At that time I was in my grandmother's house. So my grandmother's house, as I said, is kind of closer to his house. So yeah. And then nigga, well, I shouldn't say that word. So the dude Corey came to my grandmother's house drunk, you know, and then he did not call me to say I'm outside or anything. He just went up to like my house, and then he literally, you know, first did a hooter, like whatever, and I was not even thinking it was him, so I didn't care less. So, and then he came up to my house, he knocked at the gate, like in the hood, it's like the house, and then it's like there's always a fencing around the house. So he knocked in the main gate, and then luckily my grandmother went to go answer. I remember, because we were watching Game of Thrones. It was like 10:30, yeah, because we were watching Game of Thrones. So, and then he's like, hello Nan, can I please find some PUA? And my grandmother's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna call him. And then my grandmother called me and he's like, your friend is here. I'm like, friend? He's like, yeah. Okay, and when I went there, he's like, what are you doing here? That was the first thing I said to him. What are you doing here? Like, not because what are you doing here, but like, what are you doing in or at my yard? Because that was my yard, you know. So it was like, just wanted to see you and whatnot. So I kind of got angry at him, you know. I couldn't even speak to him because he was drunk, you know. He was like, oh, I love you. You know when someone is drunk and you kind of get irritated. So it was like, you know what, just leave. He's like, okay, can I talk to you tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Knowing in my heart, I was like, you're not going to talk to me tomorrow. So, not because I was being a diva, come on. Like, he came to my house. We black, you know, as a black person, that shit is not allowed. Like, that is effed up. Like, straight out, it's effed up. Culturally, in my culture, it's effed up. So, and then he left, and then he called me when he got it home to his house, and then I did not answer the phone, and then afterwards he sent me a text. He's like, he would do anything, you know, to prove how much he loves me, and I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't respond too, and then he called me, and then something just said, answer this phone call, and I did. And let me just play it. Let me just play it. I want to play it. Let me just play it. No, but then, because the first time he sent a message which was like, I love you so much, you know what, I can't do this anymore, let's just get married, and then we can buy and then rent our own apartments and whatnot. So this is how. And then I was like, oh, you fucking crazy. That I responded saying that you effing crazy. And then he called me, and then I answered, but then this is a part of, you know, like the whole conversation we had. Forgive me if you can't hear it properly.
Oh, you're working at night.
I was sleeping by the way.
You're waking me up so you can sleep. Wow. Yes. I wanted to tell you that I wanted to get married. I thought you were going to be happy. I'm so fucking happy. But listen, I'm so fucking happy. Like, I'm cracking.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. So basically, what I'm saying to this voice note. So basically, he called me and I was sleeping, right? Because he was working at night. And then when he called me, I'm like, why are you waking me up when you're gonna work? It's like, because I wanted to tell you something. I'm like, what do you want to say? It's like what we talked about earlier. I'm like, don't tell me about the marriage thing. It's like, I'm serious, will you marry me? I'm like, what? He's like, aren't you happy? I'm like, I am effing happy, of course. But then like, you can't just say you want to get married just because something happened that I'm angry at you. Like, okay, that's kind of sweet, but then like, you can't, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. Rather, I don't know about someone else, but it doesn't make sense. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna come. And like, for real, he even bought the ring and everything. It was kind of crazy. But should I stop there or should I continue? I don't know. Okay, let me just give you a little bit of tip and then just finish off this video, wrap up everything. And then he was like, he bought the ring, and he's like, okay, when he got back to work, from work, I mean the following day, because he worked at a night shift that day, he was like, can I see you? I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, I went, you know, because I loved him. Like, I loved him. Can't blame me for that. When I got there, he gave me a ring and he proposed properly, like on his knees, like you know, it was kind of cute. It was kind of cute. We were actually at the cafe Yeah, we were in a cafe. You know, like those slow jam cafes kind of vibe. But then in the hood, it's called Fashion Cafe. We were in that cafe. So yeah, he got down on his knees. He popped the question, gave me a ring. I did kind of accept. It was cute and whatever, you know. And then now I was kind of crazy. I did not know what was gonna go on from that. So should I leave that for part two? Yeah, I think I should. But then part two is coming with more juicy, because I feel like part two is the juiciest way, because that's where he actually writes a letter to my mom. He writes a letter to my mom and my dad. I know that sounds corny, but then it's true, he does. Let me just stop the video now. Okay, thank you very much. Bye, guys. I love you. Just don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. Part 2 will be coming in a few days' time. Bye.